A great time to have you join us for yet another entertaining, informative show today. This is Enterprise Weekend and reaching you from Enterprise Television from the economic capital of Nigeria, Lagos, that is. I am Henry Igwebike.
And I'm Choma Okoye.
All right, in the jiffy, we'll be heading straight to our newspaper headlines to see all that we have for you this morning. And right after that, in the jiffy, would be our main conversation also for today. While we get everything all sorted out for you, please do well to be part of our community. Have a say in what we say. You can always find and reach us at enterprisetvnews.com. You may like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV7. With us today in the studio is Barrister Vance Ofeli, Barrister at Law and Public Affairs Analyst. Good morning to you, Barrister, and welcome from Zambia.
Yes. How is it treated? How is it in the South?
Yeah, very fine.
Yeah, so
it's very far from here.
Oh, beautiful, very far from here. The costume, is it from there?
Yes, this is from Zambia. It's
wow.
part of the culture.
Oh, wow. I also want to say congratulations for your honorary. You received an honorary yesterday. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's kick start today with the first daily on our desk, coming from the Guardian newspaper. And on the top head here, we have special feature, of course, which made page 8 and 9, encroachment on power lines right of way persist amid danger, clamp down. Okay,
moving on, still at the top strip, we have disappointing UK denial of justice for Africa. Details are on page 2.
And also, yes, and also on the bottom strip here we have hashtag end bad governance or protest outrage over arraignment of minors in court.
Okay, moving on, still on the bottom strip, on Livestock Watch, Tinubu Ganduje and power of intellectuals in governance. Details are on page 4.
All right, but let's look into what we'll be talking about today. That's coming from the Guardian newspaper, though not from here in Nigeria. But let's look at what's happening on the global scene. A U.S. presidential election, how climate change, abortion, tax, orders will shape voters' choice. Barrister Vance Ofeli, I think it's very important that we talk about this because the world now is more of a global village. What happens anywhere else has a way of trickling down to us. On the 5th of November, Americans would go en masse to vote for the next candidate. Now, these are the areas of concern: abortion, tax, that is, and economy. Where do you see this panning to?
Well, Americans are looking for a more liberal society, and they're looking for a more liberal, pro-liberal candidate, because it is a city or a country that is heavy on liberty. Okay, sometimes even liberty at the expense of their livelihood. But you see, the focus is that the two candidates, having known the citizens of the country, are debating on very sensitive issues that borders on taxation. America operates what they call expensive tax. Everything you buy, there's tax on it. So they are looking at a society where people's life can improve the more, okay? And the candidate that so reflect that in terms of the economy, okay? So that is why if you look at the polls, you see that Harris and Biden, Donald Trump, you see that the gap, the margin is quite very it tells you that this election is quite unpredictable. Because, and the polls, why you cannot use the polls to judge the final election is because the polls is based on a simple majority. The final election is based on electoral college.
Yes.
And then simple majority cannot fix
exactly
who will emerge for the past how many years. I mean, look at Bush and Gore. We saw how it went. Hillary
Clinton and Donald Trump.
Yeah. Okay. You see that someone who gets a popular vote could not make it through the electoral college. I know how the American system is. Okay, the electoral college makes up 50. Is it 53 or 58?
No, 538 total.
500, yes. 500. So you need not just persuade the electors, but you need to also do more. And when you look at the general landscape, the way they vote, there are some blue states. There are some states that tends towards the Democrats by history. There are some that move towards the Republicans by history. But sometimes, for you to break the borderline, okay, to draw a state that ordinarily would go the way of Democrats, to go the way of the Republican, you need to now begin to look at these sensitive issues like abortion, taxation, the economy, immigration, climate change. Okay. America is a vast land of hope and opportunity. So the political class, they are aware of it. Okay. So some politicians in the US, their manifesto is based on how we could sacrifice now and get a better future. Some believe that you don't need to sacrifice your whole life to get a better future. That you can actually be where you are, okay, and leadership can actually, you know, make policy intelligence that will improve the life from where. If you are in the US, where things work in terms of the system works, they are not perfect, okay. Whenever you have things working, people there will also tell you that they need things to be better than the way they were. As against some other places where things are not good at all, and leaders emerge to worsen it.
All right, beautiful. And I think it's very important that we look at this, you know, prior to the elections and even still with elections, there are lots of give and take here. You know of the island of garbage statement by a comedian, you know, and also Joe Biden, who was believed to desire to counter that, further fuel the issue, and so on and so forth. So with all of this back and forth, where do you think do you think that would even in any way, you know, invite the undecided voters now? Because that is where the two candidates are fighting towards. The undecided voters, how possible is it to get them on the various sides?
That is the one what makes a difference. The undecided voters, the ones who are looking at the chessboard. They are looking at, to say the truth, really, Biden really has worsened things.
Biden?
Okay. Yes.
For Kamala Harris?
Yes. Because there are a lot of Americans that are against his style of governance. Now, if you listen to Americans one-on-one, I don't mean news.
Okay.
I mean, if you listen to Americans one-on-one, the Florida, for example, the flood and all that, the way it's handled, okay, the economy, the way the economy have been managed over the past 4 years. The average American we are talking to, these are the same Americans who knew how Trump took the economy. You see, Trump's undoing was his recklessness, his unprecedented disposition, and then lastly, the attack on the Capitol, which he was tried, you understand,
for.
So yes, for. So I mean, that is Trump's undoing, and that is the fear people have. Otherwise, if you talk about the economy, how boisterous business, and when you talk about commerce, I mean, give it to Trump. He did so much on immigration. It was hard on. Illegal immigrants.
Even if it was strict, because at some point he totally banned Muslims from not coming into America. Of course, which really affected Nigeria also.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. You see, those moral issues, those moral issues is where he has problem. The issues of morals, like, I mean, that's where he has problem because it goes extreme. But when you're talking about rejigging the economy, making things work, making America great again, bringing the jobs back, okay, bringing resources back for Americans to sponsor their children through college and fantastic.
Don't you think this would be enough reason for them to actually, that's the Americans, to actually give him a second chance?
He has a lot of supporters. So many. I mean, you know, that's why I'm saying that Joe Biden, you know, there's in some states they don't even call him Joe Biden, they call him Sleeping Biden. Like the economy went to bed for 4 years. You understand? People have that opinion. You see, it's very, very, very dangerous when people hold that opinion. Because even at the end of the day, the undecided voters, at the peak, at the eve of election, they are not able to make up their mind. they are likely going to go the way of the person who have done well in the past.
Very true.
So we'll just watch it and see.
Okay, now at this point, sorry, before we move, can we see the influence of, let me say, some celebrities? Because yesterday Beyonce came out to give her voice for Kamala Harris.
Jennifer Lopez
Yes,
too.
so don't you think this celebrities, because a lot of Americans love them and believe in them,
Yeah.
and you know the influence they have on people,
Yeah.
don't you think their influence would not rub off on the vote in the end, actually doubting them or pointing them towards Kamala Harris?
Their vote, their influence will make a big difference. That's why they're doing what they're doing. See, there are some Americans who are just there. It's not about who will work or who will not work. There are some Americans just waiting to join the train that will make history. To just have a woman just lead America. You understand? That some people, that's their see, the way white people think. White people, there's the way they think. Sometimes they do things like that's how they are created. They want to break new grounds. They just do things insane. There's a biking this thing I watch where these bikers, they don't longer bike on road. These ones, they bike on sand, they bike on rock,
Hills.
they bike on hills and all that. Then there's what you call this vertical riding, where the hill will be like almost like a line, and they want to ride from the ground and break through. You understand? They get to a point they fall with their bike. Sometimes the bike falls on them. They get injured.
Yeah, I've seen the video.
They're in the hospital. Somebody's interviewing them. Say they want to get well soon so that they go back to that place. You understand? So these people are insane. That's how they are created, to break new ground. You see that in many of their policies. Sometimes you see that in lifestyle. Somebody changes face to that of a dog. We don't know where they are going to. But we can see it in all they do.
All right. We'll still wait for what happens. Then, interestingly, Nigerian politicians are so very interested in U.S. elections, but when it comes home,
we want to pick one or two from the debates and get to learn how to do the
candidates going for debates and all that, and letting the people know. But let's get to Saturday Vanguard newspaper and the big story here: end bad governance, supporters police the dog miners 4 slums before arraignment.
Okay, moving on the top strip of the Vanguard newspaper, I want to withdraw tax reforms bill that is coming from Tinubu. Details are on page 2.
And also on the bottom strip here, Nigerians not only hungry but angry. Anglican prelate tells the leaders at Iwanyanwu's burial. Okay,
if you get into page 6 on the Vanguard, you find Obaseki launches Edo digital policy, commissions Nigerians' first state-owned data center in Benin. Wow, that's a good development there.
Yes, all right, but let's talk about this issue. What should we do as INEC, SIECS are failing our democracy? And the writer here says Nigerians losing hope in judiciary. Profile a solution. That's on page 10, Barrister Fansufeli. Going by what we saw yesterday, the profiling and arraignment of young minors, and also Nigerians are crying loud on how the judiciary is participating subtly in derailing our democracy. As someone who is playing in that turf, what do you have to say about this?
Well, I'm so disappointed that the judiciary will sit and oversee the arraignment of minors. Because if for nothing, let's assume that the law enforcement agencies do not know that you don't arrest minors and put them under that condition. Let's assume they don't know. Okay. How about the court where they went to arraign them? Is it that the court does not know that these are minors that should not be put under such condition? So the court cannot in any way. That's why I don't blame the law enforcement agents, because I want to excuse them of their ignorance if truly they don't know. Even I know they are aware. You understand? That for the court, to now sit and supervise over illegality and remand, minors to prison custody, it's unfortunate. The NJC must look into the activity of that judge and make sure that the adequate punishment is meted out. Because if I were the judge sitting on that case, I will allow the prosecution to okay, bring them forth and allow the charge sheet to be read out. I will allow them to read out the charge sheet to them on their offenses and all that. And then I will strike out the matter. I release them. That is the most honorable thing to do. To strike out the matter on the ground that these are minors. They carry flag and so on. What do you do to minors? It's another laws. You don't take them to sell or keep them in remand homes where you will feed them adequately and even bring teachers to come and teach them. If you want to keep them for 90 days, that's fine. If you want to keep them for 1 year, that's okay. But you must rehabilitate them. So that's why we have remand homes. Because juveniles, there's what they call juvenile delinquency.
Yeah.
They saw their friends.
Karen.
They were playing.
For them, it's fun.
It's fun. They don't see, even if somebody was somewhere denying them, they don't even know the implication of what they are doing. Okay.
In fact, they don't even know the flag that they even
They don't know the concept.
implication. So why do you not charge them for treason and treasonable felony? So those are the children that want to take over Nigeria or levy war against the country.
Barrister
come
Evans
on.
Afeli now, what can we say about the psychological effect this will have on these children? And while you talk about that, let's talk about INEC failing and our democracy going down. Can we say there is hope for the INEC and is there hope for Nigerians? Because very soon we're preparing for the year 2027. What is the way forward?
Well, let me talk about the children first. You saw them. They are not well fed. They are kept under very dehumanizing conditions. Their fundamental rights have been breached so far. The right to movement, that of not subjecting anyone to slavery and servitude. Dehumanizing condition. They are not well fed. So it is in the law that if you put an inmate in custody, you must feed the inmate based on the rules. Okay? But these children are not fed. They're just kept there and all that. Their parents were outside crying, okay, and in the courtroom. Had not seen them for over 90 days or thereabouts. So I think this is very wrong. Now, INEC, the truth is that before 2027, this country has to do something about the leadership of INEC. Because there's no way they're not going to deliver what they delivered before, okay, to you. And that those who are working, Nigeria is not working because of people in sensitive authorities, not because of any other thing. Okay, you are just looking at even the INEC chairman, even if that one is upright and clean. How about the respective state rec? Okay, well, you know here when someone declared election, declared somebody winner in Adamawa,
Yes.
when election was still ongoing, declared somebody winner, just because of interest. INEC is supposed to be independent, so the independence of INEC is nothing to write home about. You are not going to get a perfect system with what you have on ground, except maybe you want to outsource that rule to maybe a different authority entirely. We should be advocating for that.
Thank you so much.
All right. There are more interesting stories here, but for the want of time, I think we just have to call it a wrap for this particular segment. I'd love to say thank you to Barrister Evans Afeli.
Yeah, thank you so much for your
Thank you
time.
once more for coming back.
Thank you.
Let's talk more about Nigeria.
Yeah, thank
Very
you.
interesting.
I want to say thank you, Henry.
Thank you.
Thank you for making it worthwhile every day.
We do appreciate that.
When we return, democracy on trial. Nigerians decry arraignment of hungry minors in the #EndBad governance movement as 4 of them collapse in court. We'll be discussing this shortly. Stay with us.